Hi, this is Dr. Martina, your sexuality expert and online sex therapist. What do my sexual fantasies say about myself is the question of the week. And they say a lot. There's a lot of very rich information in them. And what they do most is they talk or they show your potential as a sexual being, your beautiful, creative, and deep potential as a sexual being. And that is a wonderful thing. Sexual fantasies is a topic in the evaluation session in my practice as a sex therapist. And I understand that you may be embarrassed about the contents of your fantasies, that you may be shy about sharing them or even taking a closer look at them by yourself, but it is so worth the effort. I'm telling you. And we are all caught in this with our sexual fantasies because most of us can come up with some very creative, erotic, wonderful scenarios and stories in our head. And those sexual fantasies that we all can come up with, I would say 90% of them don't fit in that very tight box of socially accepted sexual behavior. And what they do is when we come up with those and we want to share them, they make people feel uncomfortable. But I would say, that is their problem, not ours. So, unfortunately, sexual fantasies have a bad reputation, and that is a pity because they do pack a lot of information about your true and deep sexual desires. And so now let's take a look at the insight sexual fantasies can offer us.
In principle, sexual fantasies represent a picture of your sexuality, no matter what gender, what age, or what race you are. And what makes this information so rich, fantasies give a picture of your whole sexuality. And by whole sexuality, I mean including all of the components. Let's take a look at them individually. The personal component. Fantasies can bring a deeper understanding of the development of gender affiliation. Our fantasies develop and alter themselves, and so does our sexuality. If you observe yourself in your fantasies, you will get a picture of how you developed your feelings of being a woman or, respectively, a man. Fantasies can clarify your sexual attraction code. You may be confused about who gets your sexual attention and who does not. If you observe your fantasies, it will be clear where your sexual attraction lies. Fantasies clarify the needs whose satisfaction you pursue through sexual activities. Observe in your fantasies if you're acting or watching. Suppose your genitals are being stimulated or they're not being stimulated. If you're watching your fantasies as you watch a movie, you will be able to identify your actual needs, which stand behind your sexual activities. The cognitive component. Sexual fantasies can inform about ways of thinking about sexuality and genitality. If you take a closer look at the stories and the scenarios of your fantasies, you can identify the degree of freedom you have in your sexual thinking, and then compare them with your actual sexual activities. Physiological component, or we also call that the arousal function. Sexual fantasies are significant arousal sources. Fantasies are only one of the 6 arousal sources we have available. The other 5 are our senses. If you exclusively use imagination to increase your arousal, you will notice that being in your head can create a distance between you and your lover. Fantasies are directly related to your acquired arousal mode. Working with the physical experience of your fantasies can help you with potential arousal problems. High muscle tension can intensify the imagination, so we have a tendency to stay there, but it can also deviate your attention from your senses. Now the last one, the relationship component. Fantasies can identify sexual compatibility in relationships. If you imagine other people in your fantasy and not your partner, and if your script is like that all of the time, you may be missing out with your partner. If you're fantasizing about your partner doing things that he does not in reality, then you are halfway there from making it happen. Talk to your partner about it. Have a conversation.
So you can see that sexual fantasies do say a lot, don't they? They show how creative and most of the time how free you are with your sexual mind. And that is how it should be. I understand there's a lot of sexual fantasies we have in our heads that never need to be lived out. They're actually more fun in your head. But there's still a lot of them up there too that we'd like to experience. So take a look at yours. Take a look at your stories, imagination that you come up with, and see what they say about you. And what do you want to do with them? To end this video, I just show you a comparison. It's an interesting study that I found that they've asked a certain amount of men and women what their 5 preferences are in their fantasies, what their 5 preferred topics are, and here's the result of them. So have fun with your investigation of your sexual fantasies. If you need any help, please give me a call, and I will see you next week. Bye.